Hi guys, welcome to a new video. So today we'll finally take a look at the Empire balance strategy build order, and I will show it to you in this game at the Dark Side Forest map. As you can see, I will be playing against hard AI. This is of course not the best scenario. It would be much better against real player, but unfortunately right now I don't have time for anything else, so I will make at least this. Maybe in the future I will also make some more build order videos where I will show you how it would look like against a real player. The reason I'm actually putting here hard AI and not very hard AI is because very hard AI is harvesting all resources and also producing units and everything is just doing 20% faster. So it's just kinda cheating, like if I would have handicap at 80%. So it just doesn't really represent the real experience from multiplayer. I already have videos on my channel on how to defeat very hard AIs, so we don't really need to worry about it right now. Hard AI will be much closer to the multiplayer experience, and if you want to practice multiplayer strategies against AIs, I would always recommend you to use hard AIs because it will be much closer to the real multiplayer experience. So I will place it like this. We are playing on the most basic map for 1v1s, which is Dark Side Forest of course, and I will put the enemy as random because this is the hardest scenario that you can receive. Because you won't know what to expect from the enemy. You first need to scout to actually find out what race is he playing. Even though usually players will choose their race, especially in some tournaments and more serious games. They want to play what they are best with, but we will go with random for now, so it's a little bit harder. So let's start the game. I will be telling you what I'm doing. You can of course also open the build order that I gave you in the Excel on your other monitor. I also have it there so I can see what I wrote there, maybe tell you what I will do a little bit differently, and we'll see what we can do here. So first thing, when I will start the matchup, I will take all my peasants and send them to gold, and also I will start creating 3 peasants, which is what we have in the build order. So as you can see, we'll do it like this. Of course I'm using keybinds. Immediately I use shortcut P for 3 peasants. I also created a group. I always use group 5 for town hall. So if I show you the super group, you can see that I have group 5 already as town hall. I also set my rally point on the gold fields. And now when I have 200 gold, I will go and create barracks. I'm creating them right here in the entrance because it will block the path and it will be much easier for me to defend it here. It really depends against which races are you playing, because some of them it might be just better to play against them with your base around your gold fields, but you just need to kinda experience it yourself and find out what works best for you. I also made one more peasant, and now I'm basically just waiting for 750 HP on these barracks, and when I have that I will take this peasant and start creating farm next to it. The reason we are doing this is to not waste another peasant here, because we don't need it. We are not making a rush, so we don't need to rush anything of course. So I'm just maintaining the production of my peasants. Maybe you can unzoom a little bit so you can see it better with the end keybind, or you can just rebind it in the settings. And once we have 8 peasants here, we will actually make one more. Now I was actually a little bit late, not best for the demonstration video, but I mean it works fine still. And now we will also make second barracks. You can make them back in here, maybe to block the path around your town hall, so they cannot rush on your minions, on your peasants if they get through this area. So this might be a good idea. We have right now 8 on golds, so I will send the next peasant to gems. I will create a new one, and this peasant, when he finishes these barracks, he will make a farm as well. So we can maybe block this path, or I can build it on the other side, doesn't really matter. Then he will go back to gold. This peasant will finish this farm, now finish these barracks, and now we have kinda like 2 options. You can either just return him to gold, this will give you a little bit more resources, or you can just take him and go explore with him. I'm also immediately making swordsmen. Of course I will take both of my barracks and keybind them to whatever group you want to use for your production buildings. I always use group 6. So 5 is for a town hall and 6 is for production buildings. And then I of course use 1, 2, 3 and 4 for my groups of units. And later usually I rebind the keybind 5 for like a phoenix or something, but We don't need to worry about that. I'm immediately sending a rally point to one of the hidden locations, creating as many swordsmen and peasants as I can at one time. Once this peasant is done here, I will have 10 on gold, which is fine. We have 2 on gems, as you can see it's quite far away, so I will create third one once I have 3 on wood. I'm trying to make sure I have enough swordsmen everywhere. And once we finish the production of peasants, I will actually not create a third for gems now. I will immediately go for stone keep. Of course, I'm producing more swordsmen. We are maybe a little bit late with this farm, so there will be a small gap, but doesn't really matter. I'm trying to scout all the available positions to find out about my enemy. Seems like he's not rushing me or anything, so I can easily scout. He's probably not here, but I will check to make sure. We will move away, create another swordsman. And right now, since he's not rushing me, maybe I'll actually save up some resources and create the other buildings that we want to make. So we want to make, of course, Blacksmith, so we can unlock Elven Rangers and Pikemen, which is always important. And you also want to make Elven Sanctuary. You want Phoenix for scouting, and also in case they make flying units, this is the best counter you can make. I'm actually expecting Empire to be against me, probably in the opposite corner, and making Valkyries from what I saw or didn't see yet. It could also be a beast, maybe making wyverns or just anything. Beasts are usually slower a little bit, but actually it's fallen with ice spitters. This is really good, we know about it, so now we can counter it. So I will go actually for immediate workshop, and we will make Catapults, which is the best counter to Hive Spitters. Of course, in real multiplayer you probably wouldn't face this strategy, then we will be making some Hive Stingers. And in that case, I would probably do the normal strategy, where you first make Temple, and Gnome Workshop is actually kinda optional, but Temple is the mandatory building that you always want to build. But as we saw, there are Hive Spitters, so it will be much more valuable. Also, I will start making some Pikemen, which have bonus damage, and we can also maybe get the Phoenix just to spot the enemies. But maybe actually I will save the gems, we really don't need the Phoenix, so let's just adjust it like this. We can see we are running out of population, so let's make one more farm right here in the back. As you can see, I'm using keybinds for all the buildings. It's not that difficult to remember it if you are actually playing the game in English, because it always starts with the same letter. Yeah, the name of the building and the keybind, so it's actually pretty simple. Of course, there are some variations. Yeah, of course. For example, here you have R instead of F, because it's farm, but it's probably saved for a different building somewhere. Yeah, so you always need to make sure that you know the exact letter there, even though F is not really used anywhere, maybe for something different. Don't really have time right now to check it. Against real player, you would definitely not play like this defensively at your home. You need to be scouting all the time, but since it's an AI and I exactly know what he's doing, he's just standing really near, maybe somewhere around here, with all of his ice spitters, and he'll probably expand in like 1 minute or 2 minutes. I don't really need to go anywhere right now. Against real player, he would probably be either rushing me or staying at home, then I would be scouting, or I mean, I would be scouting him and then I would be either harassing him, or if I saw that he's making ranged units and I have melee army, I would just maybe go for an expansion, yeah, but definitely need to keep in track of the map. You cannot just stay in the back like this. That's super risky against the real player, but as I said, it doesn't really matter against the AI, and it would just waste time for me to do anything else. He could just damage me. As you can see, I'm just accumulating catapults, and when we will have 3 catapults, I will just rush him and we should be fine. Because we'll have strong enough army. It would be nice to have 2 priests, but I don't have gems for that right now. I'm prioritizing Pikemens over priests, so hopefully that will work for me. Of course, I will create a super group for all of my units, and if I have something really in the back line, something really slow like catapult, I will also add them to supergroup number 2. So now I can just move my whole army with supergroup number 1, and if I need to retreat just with my backline, I can just press supergroup number 2 and I can just move it away. So always make sure you are using your keybinds all the time, and of course groups mainly. Now we'll go for some swordsmen because we have extra gold. Now we can make the last priest as I mentioned, and we still have some resources, so let's actually research some tankiness for our units. Keep in mind that this front line is much faster than the catapults, so I need to definitely make sure I'm working together. Once again, we are playing against AI. I know that he's either retreating from me or he's going to fight me, but he's definitely not gonna run around my army. Against a real player, you once again want to have a Phoenix or at least Swordsmen or Peasants, whatever, scouting all the roads that lead to your town, so when you are attacking you actually know that he's not attacking you at the same time. I'm actually expecting him to already make an expansion, so maybe we'll need to destroy that. He probably made it here, but we will see. We can also make another catapult. We ran out of population, we can maybe research, improve farming. And once we get resources, we can make either another farm or some soldiers. But another farm is much faster than improved farming, so we can start with that. As you can see, I'm doing multitasking, moving my army, producing units and building buildings at the same time. Right now I will use the Pikemen, which should be a little bit faster even without the elixir of strength. And as you can see, enemy actually already expanded here. Maybe building the buildings, yeah. So I definitely want to stop this, but he will maybe run on my catapults if I'm not careful enough. So definitely want to stay with my army here and destroy everything from afar with the catapults. Maybe we'll lure him out, we'll see. I'll create another catapult. Also one more Pikeman and Swordsman. I will add my new priests to the group. Moving my catapults, making sure I don't shoot my own melee units. You could also just bless your catapults for some extra damage, but we are not going to do that right now. Now he spent majority of his resources on this expansion. We managed to destroy it. And now we should be totally fine, because we'll have a huge resource lead. He cannot do anything against the catapults with his army. And I will just destroy this expansion, he cannot protect it. And we should be fine. Right now you can either decide to expand if you want, or you can just keep pushing, producing more units, and you should be also fine. He's spending more resources on this, so I don't mind that. I will damage my units a little bit here, but that should be also fine. We have priests. You can either produce or build more barracks or upgrade them, doesn't really matter, it's the same price. Of course, for building new barracks you will need another peasant for a while to use him there. He won't be able to harvest resources during that time. But if you decide to go for advanced barracks, then you won't be able to produce in those barracks for some time. So that's also a disadvantage. You need to just choose whatever is less harm for you at the time. Of course, he's not making any flying units. We know about it for sure, because it's an AI making high splitters. If you know the strategies, you have it much easier here. But against the real player, I would definitely make sure with a Phoenix that he's not making any, or at least the cocoon, and if I see any hive guards, I would definitely make more Phoenixes and also add some Elven Rangers. That's like the two main units you want to make against flying units in the early game as Empire. So this is really simple, just producing more units, don't even need more population since we upgraded to that. Improved farming, don't have gens for castle and we don't need it, so let's just keep pushing. I was really slow here, but I am trying to explain everything. It's probably still too quick for you, but hopefully you'll understand everything. You can just replay the video, of course, if you missed something. What I'm gonna do now, I don't wanna fight him. If you have catapults and your enemy doesn't have them, or trolls or Avengers, you always want to shoot them first and force them to run on you. Because as you can see, AI won't even attack on me, so this is totally free. And if it was not an AI, you would still want to play it like this. Because what he can do, even if he has some catapults or trolls, if you have more, you will just always kill him. And if he doesn't have any, or he has less, if he doesn't have any, he won't be even able to fight you. And right now I want definitely more priests. He's like attacking on me, fine. Will force him back. He cannot do anything. I can just rush on him at this point. We can definitely use elixirs of strength. Mainly want to focus the hive spitters with my pikemans, but to be honest, harvesters are also taking more damage from pike, so it doesn't even matter at this point. I can just hit everything with those pikemans and it will be always effective. Now I want to make sure that I destroy the towers really quickly with my catapults. Lightning spires, the fallen towers are not that strong, they have really good damage per hit, but the attack speed is super slow, it's like 2 seconds. You also have it in that Excel file. So it's really slow, so it doesn't really matter. Those towers are not that good, but you still want to destroy them with catapults. It's just faster and You don't need to waste any units there. Yeah, once again, I'm micromanaging my units during the fight, trying to bring the low HP ones to the back so they don't die, especially with Empire. Actually, he has the grasp, so he grasped him, but I can kill him, save my units. This is really important, especially with Empire, because Empire units gain auras, which are totally broken. It's really strong, and it's the most important race to actually level up in the early game. It will give you a huge lead if you have these auras. And you also want to make sure that your units don't die. If you have Resurrection, you can be a little bit less careful, but still want to micromanage, of course. But keep in mind that, as you can see, if your units fly away like this, either from Catapults or Trolls or Ogres or just any huge unit, they won't be resurrectable. So you need to make sure that if you want to resurrect a unit, that it just died to a Swordsman or something like that. Just a normal unit, not something that throws it away, then it's not resurrectable. And Resurrect is the only way to bring your leveled up units back. Once again, it's in the Excel file, but once again, with Beasts you can just resurrect them in the Resurrection Altar, and with Fallen you just create new units that are already leveled up if you have Soul Strap and you gathered some experience. But to be honest, with Fallen it's really slow to gather some experience, so you don't really need to fight anything in the early game to get experience, because it won't be effective anyways. It's really important with Empire. With Beast it's also not that important, but those auras are really strong here. So as you can see, this was super easy. I have ton of resources, of course. Right now I was not spending them anymore because I just knew that we won. But even if you are winning, you still want to spend all of your resources. Definitely I should have made expansion at this point and everything, but it was really simple. Just a really quick game. You definitely win this also against very hard AI, but this is more realistic. Definitely a really simple game. I definitely showed you the build order in the beginning. If you follow it exactly like I did it here, you'll have a really strong opening in the game. Of course, if they are rushing, you will build a tower. If you know for a fact that they are not making any flying units, you don't necessarily need to make Elven Sanctuary. You can even skip Blacksmith if you want. You definitely want to make the temple before the workshop, Gnome workshop, if you don't need catapults immediately like I did here. So overall there are multiple changes you can make, but if you build it like I did in this game, you'll definitely have a really strong start ready for basically all of these matchups that you can just encounter in multiplayer with Empire. So we can maybe go through the stats here, but it doesn't really matter. You just didn't do anything. But that's not the point. The main thing was to show you the build order. I think it was in the file actually exactly like I did it. Maybe there was something missing, maybe one farm wasn't there or something, but you need to check that yourself. Rather just follow this video, because here you actually see that it works and how it works. I will also try to put the build order that I exactly show in this video in the description of this video, so you can just take a look at it, maybe compare it to the one that is in the Excel file, but mainly use this in the video. In the next video we'll probably take a look at Beast. Once again, balanced strategy. There are two of them, so maybe there will be two videos, and then I have like 3 for Fallen. But we are definitely not ending here. I will make, of course, strategies for videos for all the strategies or the build orders, so rush, economy, defense, and this balance. And as I said, after that we will probably also make some extra build orders where I will also show it against real players, so you can imagine it a little bit better. However, it's a little bit harder to actually commentate, because against real player I of course need to focus a little bit more, so then I cannot focus on the commentary that much, and it just became a little bit harder. Maybe it's better to actually commentate on a replay. Maybe I'll do that. I will play a decent game with someone live, with real player, and then I will show you the replay and tell you exactly what I did there. But I also think that it's really good if I show you in real time, when you can actually see where I'm moving with my camera, where I'm clicking and everything. So I also wanted to make one game like this. You probably also saw that it was much faster than in the games against very hard AIs. I was playing there really defensively, just going for that one strategy that I know that will beat basically every AI. Here I actually go for some scouting. I create really quickly some counter and I immediately attack. I don't let them expand, I don't let them change strategy or whatever. I just go for it and destroy them. It's not rush, but it's a really quick attack if it's possible and if it makes sense. If they of course have stronger army, maybe there is a beast with trolls and goblin riders, or he's rushing you, whatever. You want to make, for example, tower, or just play a little bit more defensively, then maybe expand somewhere if they are not exploring but they have strong army. You can always try to counter them in different ways, but quick, strong attack with counters is definitely always a really good option. And it can work even better if you have an ally in the 2v2 game. So yeah, I hope you understand everything. If you have any questions, or if you want me to improve something for the other build orders that I will make, definitely let me know in the comments. I hope it was not too quick, but as I said, you can definitely just replay it how many times you want, try to copy it. I think I did it almost perfectly. There was just that one little slip in the beginning when I made the barracks to like 900 HP instead of 750, so then I had maybe little population problems, but it was not something major, so it doesn't really matter. Also the second farm was a little bit late, but those are really small things that will slow you down by like 3 seconds and usually won't decide the game, because your opponent usually won't be perfect too, so this is totally fine. So you can follow this really good. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and see you next time.